Hey everyone, it's Thursday, so it's time for another Tune-Up Thursday, and these are videos that help you to take care of your marriage. I want to read you a verse, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. When I say that, for a lot of you who know the Bible or who've grown up in church, you know that 1 Corinthians 13 is usually called the love chapter. But I want to read one verse from that chapter, 1 Corinthians 13, verse 7, and it says this: love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And that's a great passage, but the part that I want to focus on today is the part that says love bears all things. And to bear means to help carry, to suffer with, or to endure. That passage also said endures all things. And that's a great thing that couples need to remember, is we're called to bear with one another and bear all things. In other words, we're gonna carry the load. We're gonna share in the suffering, we're going to share in the difficulties, we're going to share in the hardship, but it also means we're going to share in the good things and the rejoicing that happens in our relationship. But what does it mean to bear all things, or how do you bear all things in a marriage? Well, what I want to do is I want to use that word bear. Now, I don't want you to think of an animal, or if that helps you, fine. Think of the animal, but we're going to use those four letters, B-E.A.R, to kind of help us to think about what does it mean when it says love bears all things. And the first one is this. For the letter B, that means we need to believe the best in one another. The minute, you've heard me say this in videos, the minute that you let negativity kind of creep into your marriage is the minute that it just becomes this wet blanket over everything. And instead of believing the best, we start believing negative things about our spouse. And any little kind of hiccup in our marriage or any kind of little conflict, we start assuming the worst about our spouse. Well, he did that because he doesn't care about me, or she did that because, she doesn't love me, or this is not as important to her. And a lot of times what negativity does is it just helps us to believe in the false narrative. When the truth is, maybe he did what he did, it was just a mistake, or she said what she said. It was just it was just out of an emotion. It really wasn't what she believes or what she thinks. So we need to believe the best. B.E. The other thing, to bear all things, means we need to be an encourager to one another. We need to be each other's cheerleaders, cheering each other on, encouraging others, saying good things to one another, being positive, and not only saying good things to one another, but doing good things for one another. Tell your husbands that you're proud of them. Tell your wives that thank you for what they do, but then also show them that you love them. Show them that you are for them and not against them. Show them that you're willing to walk through life and help carry the burdens of life, the burdens of parenting, the burdens of what it means to do life together as husbands and wives. So be encouragers, believe the best, be an encourager. And A is be attentive. And what that means is you got to be looking for stuff, looking for how your wife or husband are feeling, taking a look at their moods. How's it going? And if you're not good at reading your spouse, then here's something to do. Just ask. How are you doing? Is everything okay? And then here's the other thing. When your spouse asks you, be honest. Be honest and don't just go, I'm fine, or it's okay. Be honest to say, you know what, I'm feeling a little distant today, or I'm feeling a little lonely lately, or I feel like we're just not connecting. But we want to be attentive to each other. And when they tell you that, make sure that you listen and you talk about how you can deal with whatever it is going on. So believe the best. Be an encourager, be attentive, and then the R in the word bear is respond with empathy. So a lot of times when we're going through difficulties, when our spouses say something to us and it's in the middle of some hard times or maybe in the middle of some conflicts, we can get really defensive and we can get really upset. But what we have to understand is we need to respond in a way that would be loving, that would be empathetic, that would be caring. We don't want to snap at our spouses. We don't want to react strictly out of emotions. And I'm not saying we're going to be perfect on this all the time, but we need to respond with empathy. Sometimes our spouses are telling us things, and maybe it's not necessarily having to do with you, but it's just a lot of stuff that they're going through. Like they've been carrying some burdens or some weight from maybe work or from dealing with the kids or stress from outside things outside of the home, family stress, extended family stress, all kinds of stuff. I mean, just stress from watching the news and watching what's happening in our world. So when we listen, we need to respond with empathy and just say, hey, I get how you're feeling, and I'm sorry that you feel hurt or you feel distant or you feel lonely or you feel like maybe we haven't been connecting. And I know that's not a good feeling. Instead of being defensive, instead of arguing or saying, don't feel that way, acknowledge that feeling and say, what can we do as a team to kind of help us and help this situation to make it better? So this week, I want you to work on, am I being a bear? Okay? And I mean that in a positive sense. Am I believing the best? Am I being an encourager? Am I attentive to my spouse's needs and to her or his emotions? And am I responding with empathy? All right, do me a favor, share this video on your social media, comment. I'd love to hear some comments from you about how you bear with one another, or as I always say, leave a comment about your spouse, something good that they've done, or just an expression of thanks for them. But just remember to always, always, always take care of your marriage.